Jakarta, capital of one of the most ethnically diverse and beautiful archipelagos in the world. Jakarta, a city of great contrasts, rapid development, high-rise buildings, toll roads, traffic jams, mobile phones, besuited executives and leafy garden suburbs. Huge development has taken place in the last 30 years. The population of Greater Jakarta, that of Jakarta, Bogor, Tangerang and Bekasi, has grown to a mind-boggling 21 million, and now a middle class of substantial proportions exists, whereas once there was the very rich and the very poor. But just out of view, and sometimes right there in front of your eyes, the other side of Jakarta remains, that of the struggling, working poor or underemployed, that of parents who cannot afford to keep their children in school, that of people whose disabilities prevent them from getting an education or earning a living, that of the elderly whose family cannot support them, that of unwanted children. In the face of it all, one feels quite helpless to do anything at all. It seems there is far too much to be done, far too much to even make an impression in the sea of needs out there. After all, what can one person do to make a difference? Why even bother to get involved? It's all too much. And where would one start? And what would it cost? Yet, when we look at this more closely, we find there are many Indonesians out doing their bit to improve the lives of their fellow countrymen. People of great dedication and integrity who are devoting their lives to their work. The problem is how to find these people. One among several not-for-profit organizations that forms a bridge in Jakarta between those who want to help and those who need help is ANZA, the Australian and New Zealand Association, which was established over 40 years ago. While one clear aim of the organization is to help its members settle into Jakarta, it also has another aim. That purpose is to connect its members with the local community, to identify ways in which, as an organization, they can make a difference to those in need through its social welfare team.
As an expatriate organisation, ANZA is not able to do a lot on its own. However, we have a number of Indonesian people and organisations with whom we cooperate. We have very good relationship with these people and organisations. We have approximately 20 projects, regular monthly projects funded by ANZA, and each of these projects has a project coordinator from ANZA who goes to visit every month.
ANZA also receives one-off requests from other local organizations for specific help to purchase equipment or build or renovate premises. For this, they send out a small evaluation team which assesses the needs and bona fides of the organization and reports back to the committee for approval or rejection. If approved, the team itself then either purchases the goods and takes them out or monitors the purchasing closely. What areas does ANZA work in? The answer is a whole lot. They work with several orphanages on a regular basis, making both a financial contribution for basic necessities and a hands-on contribution, helping to provide the physical contact that babies in an orphanage just cannot get enough of, and providing opportunities for play and physical stimulation to kids who hardly ever get out. They also work to keep children in school. Each week at Nurani Insani, a charity school in inner West Jakarta, ANZA volunteers teach English as well as other subjects alongside local staff. Another way of keeping children in school is through ANZA's student sponsorship scheme, and in 2013, ANZA celebrates 25 years of student sponsorship. We work with several local schools to identify poor children whose families struggle to keep them in school. ANZA seeks individual and corporate sponsors for individual children. It costs surprisingly little. Sponsors receive a profile of their child and 2 school reports a year. ANZA also contributes to the operational costs of a university scholarship program and sponsors students through their university studies. It is well known that Indonesian families do a wonderful job of taking care of their elderly parents. But what happens when a family is very poor or when none exists? Through local community organizations called pusakas, of which there are over 100 in Jakarta, the good souls of the community help their elderly, needy neighbors in the Indonesian version of Meals on Wheels. This involves no wheels at all actually, just a gathering to collect the rantangs or multi-tiered food containers that hold enough food for 2 meals a day. ANZA helps 5 of these organizations by providing regular monthly funding to purchase basic food supplies. Similarly, ANZA assists the daily living costs for a small group of elderly ex-political prisoners who live together in a home provided by a local Indonesian foundation. Disabled people can have a very hard time in Indonesia. Few resources exist to help them to live more fulfilling lives, and parents often keep disabled children hidden in the house, feeling that they are an embarrassment and a curse. However, ANZA is proud to support some organizations who are doing a fantastic job in helping provide an education and youthful skills to disabled children and adults. There's a lot more work to be done, but it's a beginning. Collaborative funding with other expat groups financed the heating of a hydrotherapy pool for disabled children. Now, volunteers are hands-on in the pool, enabling children to experience the pleasure of movement. Likewise, poor children born with a facial disfigurement, such as cleft lip and palate, face a lifetime of rejection and hardship. Many come from poor families and small villages all over Indonesia to 2 organizations that ANZA supports through its medical sponsorship scheme. The scheme identifies patients whose parents are too poor to pay for surgery and matches them with generous individuals or corporate sponsors who fund the new image of a child who is able to smile for the first time in his life, and all for a surprisingly low cost.
The most important message is that a little goes a long way. ANZA can do quite a lot through its own fundraising efforts and the work of our volunteers, but we really need the support of individual and corporate sponsors and donors. If there are corporate and individual sponsors who would like to assist needy Indonesians, then ANZA is willing to be the go-between. For us, the rewards go both ways.